Welcome to Heart and Hustle, where love meets mindset. I'm Courtney Ryan, and I'm here to help you level up your heart, your hustle, and your life. Today, I want to speak about something incredibly intimate, something that's not just about connection in a fleeting moment, but about leaving a mark, an experience so profound that it resonates long after. It's about presence, about awareness, about the moments before two hearts truly collide. I know that for many of you, intimacy can feel like a maze. Overwhelming, exciting, sometimes scary. But here's the thing, the way you show up before the most intimate moments can shape everything. It's not just about technique, it's about energy, intention, and the respect you carry into that space. Every glance, every breath, every touch can communicate a story that words alone cannot tell. And when you learn how to master this energy, the effect it has is transformative. You see, the moments just before you connect, before you cross that threshold, are charged with opportunity. This is when the air is thick with anticipation, when the heartbeats align like drum beats in a symphony. If you move with intention, with awareness, with pure focus, you can create a depth of feeling so intense that it will linger. This is not about rushing, not about forcing, not about trying to impress. It's about creating a sacred moment that honors both of you, a space where vulnerability and desire coexist in their most beautiful form. I want you to understand that this is not a trick or a manipulation. This is a conscious choice to step into a higher level of emotional and physical connection. It's about tuning into her energy, letting her feel seen, wanted, cherished, and safe, all at the same time. When you do this, you create ripples that go far beyond the physical moment. Trembling, gasps, sighs, these are not just reactions. They are expressions of deep resonance, the language of a connection that transcends words. So today, I'm going to break down 6 key ways to bring that energy, that focus, and that awareness into your moments before intimacy. Each keynote is about mindset, presence, and creating an unforgettable experience that will make her tremble. Not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. The first step, the most crucial step before anything else, is presence. And presence is more than just standing in the same room with her. It is about fully inhabiting every moment, being completely tuned into her energy, her subtle movements, her breathing, the way her eyes shift when she's feeling anticipation, joy, or even a little nervousness. And it starts with your mind, it starts with your awareness. It starts with quieting all the distractions that constantly pull you away from now, putting down your phone, turning off your thoughts about work, responsibilities, the past, the future, and choosing to be here right now with her. As if the entire universe has narrowed down to this single space and this single time. Presence is magnetic, it draws her in, it makes her feel like she is the only woman in the world, the only person that matters in this moment. And when you are present, she can feel it, she can sense it in the way your eyes hold hers, in the subtle curve of your smile, in the steady rhythm of your breathing. She knows that you are not somewhere else. She knows that you are not distracted. She knows that you are fully committed to feeling her, understanding her, connecting with her. And this kind of presence, this intentional awareness, it changes everything. It transforms an ordinary encounter into an extraordinary experience. It turns a casual touch into an electric spark. It turns a glance into a conversation without words. And it begins with your focus, your intention, and your heart. Because presence is not something you fake. It is not something you perform. It is something you live. It is a state of being that she can feel in the depth of her bones, in the heat rising on her skin, in the subtle tremble that starts to ripple through her body when she realizes that you are fully, completely, unapologetically here with her. And it starts with awareness, noticing the small details, the way her fingers brush against yours, the way she bites her lip when she's feeling shy, the way her eyes soften when she feels safe. And meeting her there, matching her energy, leaning into her signals, not rushing, not forcing, just allowing the moment to unfold naturally. And when you are fully present, everything you do becomes amplified. Every touch carries meaning, every whisper carries weight, every movement communicates desire, admiration, and care, because presence is not passive, it is active. It is intentional. It is a choice you make in every breath, in every heartbeat, to be fully engaged, fully tuned into her. And this presence, this deep immersion in the now, it creates a space where she feels truly seen, where she feels understood, where she feels desired in a way that goes beyond the physical, beyond words, beyond anything superficial. It makes her heart race, it makes her skin tingle, it makes her realize that this is not just another moment, this is a connection, this is intimacy at its deepest level. And it begins with you, with your focus, with your awareness, with your willingness to show up as more than a body, but as a soul, as a mind, as a partner who is willing to fully inhabit the space between you, to feel her presence as intensely as she feels yours, to respond to every subtle signal with care, attention, and intention. And when she feels that, when she truly feels that, the anticipation builds naturally, it grows organically, it is not forced, it is not hurried. It is allowed to unfold with the rhythm of your shared energy, because presence is not about rushing to the act. It is about savoring the journey. It is about showing her that every second of this moment matters, that every breath, every glance, Every touch is chosen, is deliberate, is filled with intention, and when you master this, when you step fully into presence, the effect is undeniable. The effect is electric. The effect is something she will remember long after, because presence is more than just being there. It is the art of making her feel fully, completely, undeniably alive in your presence. Energy alignment is one of the most powerful forces you can bring into an intimate moment. It's the invisible current that connects two people on a level beyond touch, beyond words, beyond what can be seen, and it begins with awareness, the ability to sense her mood, to feel the subtle shifts in her body, the rise and fall of her chest as she breathes, the slight tremor in her fingers, the way her eyes glimmer when she's excited, when she's nervous, when she's anticipating, and when you attune yourself to her energy, when you intentionally match her rhythm, her pace, her intensity, something incredible happens. A connection forms that cannot be manufactured. It is organic, it is natural, it is magnetic, and she will feel it. She will sense it, even if she cannot name it. She will feel that you are in sync with her, that your presence is not just physical, but emotional, spiritual, and that creates a tension, a pull, a spark that ignites anticipation in ways that words cannot. It's like dancing without music, moving together with a silent understanding, each gesture, each breath, each movement harmonizing with hers. It requires patience, observation, and empathy. It requires that you quiet your mind enough to sense her energy without trying to control it, without trying to dominate it, without imposing your own rhythm onto hers. And when you do this, when you allow yourself to flow with her energy, she feels seen, she feels understood, she feels safe to express herself fully, to let her body and heart respond authentically, without inhibition, without fear, and that authenticity is what makes her tremble. It is what makes her heart race, it is what makes her body respond with a fire that is both thrilling and comforting, because she knows that you are not just reacting, you are participating in a shared energy that honors her, respects her, desires her, and cherishes her simultaneously. It's subtle, it's nuanced, it's in the timing of a hand on her back. The way your gaze lingers, the way your breathing matches hers in those quiet, charged moments. And this energy alignment is not about mimicry. It's not about copying her. It's about resonance, about creating a harmony that amplifies desire while grounding both of you in a deep, undeniable connection. It's about feeling her emotions, her excitement, her tension, her calm, and responding with intention, letting your energy meet hers where she is. And when you do this, the effect is immediate, palpable, electric. She will feel a pull, a magnetism, a sense of inevitability that makes every second feel heightened, every touch feel deeper, every glance feel more intimate. And it starts with listening, truly listening with your body, your heart, your mind, noticing the way she responds to your presence, adjusting, fine-tuning, letting the energy rise and fall naturally, allowing her to lead in moments and following in others, creating a fluidity that is both playful and intense, tender and passionate. And as you synchronize, as you allow the currents of your energy to merge, anticipation builds without effort, desire grows without forcing. She feels not just physically connected, but emotionally understood, spiritually seen, and that kind of alignment, that kind of shared energy, it is rare. It is transformative. It is the very essence of intimacy. It makes her feel vulnerable yet safe, excited yet calm, desired yet respected, and she will notice every detail, every subtle shift, every careful response, because this alignment speaks to a part of her that craves to be felt fully, to be mirrored fully, to be met in a way that is intentional, that is conscious, that is utterly alive. Mindful touch is one of the most profound ways to communicate desire, care, and connection. It is a language that speaks louder than words, a rhythm that flows between two bodies and hearts, and it begins with intention, with the conscious decision to make every touch matter, to let every brush of the hand, every gentle stroke, every lingering caress carry meaning. Because she can feel it, she can sense when a touch is careless, distracted, or routine, and she can feel when a touch is deliberate, purposeful, and filled with attention. Mindful touch is about being fully present, letting your hands, your arms, your lips communicate what your words cannot. It is about listening with your skin, feeling her responses, noticing how she reacts, whether a shiver runs through her, whether her breath catches, whether her eyes soften, and meeting her there, amplifying what she feels, responding with care and passion, creating a dance that is both physical and emotional. It is a slow, deliberate art where every movement is measured, every contact is intentional, and every touch is a way of telling her that she is seen, that she is wanted, that she is cherished. And when you master mindful touch, she will feel a fire ignite inside her, a warmth that starts at her skin and travels deeper into her chest, into her heart, into the very essence of her being. It is a connection that transcends physicality. It becomes spiritual, emotional, intimate in a way that lingers long after the moment. Mindful touch is not about speed or force. It is not about achieving a reaction. It is about feeling her fully, exploring her responses, letting the energy build naturally, letting anticipation rise, creating tension and release, pleasure and comfort, security and thrill, all intertwined in one exquisite experience. It requires patience, observation, and sensitivity. It requires you to quiet your own mind, to focus on her completely, to let your body and hands become instruments of intention, and she will notice, she will feel the difference between a touch that is distracted and a touch that is intentional. She will feel the thought, the care, the desire behind it, and that awareness, that recognition makes her heart race, makes her breath catch, makes her body respond in ways that words cannot describe. Mindful touch is also about variety and nuance. It is about knowing when to be soft, when to be firm, when to linger, when to move, when to tease, when to soothe. It is about reading her energy like a map, following the curves and valleys of her responses, amplifying pleasure, deepening connection, and making her feel not just touched, but understood, admired, worshipped. Even every subtle motion, every intentional gesture communicates your desire, your care, your presence, your focus, and it becomes a dialogue without words, a conversation of skin and senses, of hearts and breaths, of souls meeting in a way that feels electric and tender all at once. And when you do this, when you allow your touch to be fully mindful, she will tremble, she will shiver, she will feel anticipation ripple through her. She will feel a connection that is rare, exquisite, and unforgettable. Mindful touch transforms an ordinary encounter into something extraordinary. It builds intimacy, it builds trust, it builds desire, it creates a bond that goes beyond the physical moment. It makes her feel fully alive, fully seen, fully wanted, fully cherished. It is the art of letting your hands, your arms, your lips, your very presence speak in a language that only she can feel, that only she can respond to, that only she can carry with her as a memory of connection, passion, and care. Verbal intimacy is one of the most underestimated, yet most powerful tools you can bring into an intimate moment. It is not just about speaking, it is about conveying emotion, desire, reassurance, and connection through your words, your tone, and your timing, because words carry energy, and energy can be felt just as deeply as touch, just as deeply as a gaze, just as deeply as a shared breath. And it begins with intention, with choosing each word carefully, speaking slowly, letting your voice carry warmth and focus, letting every syllable communicate that she is cherished, desired, and seen in ways that go beyond superficial compliments. Verbal intimacy is about more than telling her she is beautiful. It is about expressing how she makes you feel, how her presence affects you, how her laugh lingers in your mind, how her touch awakens something inside of you that is tender, passionate, and alive. It is about speaking to her heart, not just her mind, about letting your voice be a caress, a gentle brush against her ear, a soft vibration that travels into her chest and fills her with anticipation. And when you speak with this kind of intimacy, she feels it immediately. She senses the authenticity in your tone, the care behind your words, the focus that makes her feel like she is the only person in the world that matters in this moment. It is about whispers in the quiet, soft expressions of desire, affirmations of connection, small confessions of admiration, and timing, the pauses, the breaths, the subtle emphasis on certain words that make her lean in, that make her heart skip, that make her skin tingle, because verbal intimacy is not about filling silence. It is about creating a rhythm that matches the energy between you, letting words rise and fall like a tide, letting them pull her in, let her anticipation grow, let her feel the depth of your attention. And it requires vulnerability, it requires courage, it requires letting her into your inner world. Expressing feelings you might normally keep private, showing her that you trust her with your emotions, that you want her to feel not just your desire, but your heart, your mind, your soul. And when you do this, when your words are filled with genuine emotion, when your voice is soft yet confident, tender yet charged with passion, she will feel herself trembling, not just physically, but emotionally, because she senses that your intention is pure, that your focus is unwavering, that you are fully here with her, that your words are more than words. They are a bridge connecting your energy to hers. That makes her anticipation swell. That makes her desire grow. That makes her feel safe to let go, to surrender to the moment, to respond fully and authentically. Verbal intimacy is about stories. It is about whispers. It is about the laughter that breaks tension, the soft praises that elevate desire, the expressions of longing that make every moment feel electric. And it is also about listening to her words, her breath, her sighs, and responding with equal care. Because communication is a two-way street, and when your verbal intimacy aligns with her responses, it creates a harmony, a dance, an invisible thread that pulls her closer. It heightens her sensitivity, it deepens her trust, it amplifies every touch, every glance, every movement, and in those moments, she feels not just desired, but understood, appreciated, worshipped in the most tender way. Verbal intimacy turns anticipation into electricity, desire into a shared experience, and connection into something profound. It transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It makes her feel seen and heard and treasured. It makes her body respond, her heart respond, her mind respond, and it leaves an imprint that lingers far beyond the encounter. And it all begins with choosing your words with intention, speaking from the heart, letting your voice carry your energy, and letting her feel every emotion behind them. Breath control and timing are two of the most subtle yet transformative tools you can use to create an unforgettable, intimate experience. And they begin with awareness, noticing how she breathes, how her chest rises and falls, how her sighs escape in moments of anticipation or pleasure, and then intentionally matching your own breath to hers, synchronizing in a way that creates a rhythm, a pulse, a current that flows between the two of you. Because breath is more than air moving in and out of the lungs. It is energy. It is a silent communicator. It tells her that you are calm, confident, present. It tells her that you are attuned to her, that you are aware of her body, her reactions, her emotions. And when you master this, she will feel a connection that goes beyond touch, beyond words, beyond anything superficial. She will feel as if your bodies and spirits are moving in harmony, your energy intertwining with hers, creating anticipation and excitement in ways that are almost invisible. And timing is the invisible hand that guides this dance. It is the pause before a touch, the lingering of a hand at just the right spot, the slight delay before leaning closer, whispering, or pressing your lips. It is in the pauses, the drawn-out moments where tension builds naturally, where her heartbeat quickens, where her skin tingles. And when you combine breath with timing, every movement, every touch, every glance becomes electric, deliberate, filled with intention. It is not rushed, it is not forced, it is measured, it is artful, and she will notice. She will feel the difference between someone who is unaware of her energy and someone who is fully in sync with it. Her anticipation will rise naturally. She will lean into your rhythm, unconsciously following the lead of your breaths, your pauses, your movements. And that synchronization amplifies desire, it heightens intimacy, it deepens connection. It makes her feel safe to let go, to surrender, to fully inhabit the moment with you, and controlling your breath also signals confidence, patience, and presence. It tells her that you are grounded, that you are in control, not in a dominating way, but in a way that allows her to feel secure, cherished, and free to respond. And timing is equally critical because anticipation is built in the spaces between action, in the micro moments where her mind races, her body tingles, and her emotions swell. A well-timed touch or whisper can send shivers down her spine. A perfectly placed pause can make her tremble. A gentle exhale can invite her to respond in kind. And as you practice these tools together, as you learn to feel her rhythm and adjust yours accordingly, the effect becomes undeniable, almost magical, because it is no longer about technique. It is about energy, it is about connection, it is about a silent dialogue that flows through every shared breath, every held gaze, every subtle motion, and she will feel it, she will respond to it, she will tremble with anticipation and desire because she senses that you are attuned, aware, intentional, that every pause, every inhale, every exhale, every moment of stillness is chosen, deliberate, full of focus and care, and that attentiveness transforms an ordinary encounter into something extraordinary. It builds tension, it heightens sensitivity, it draws her deeper into the experience, and she will feel a wave of connection, desire, and exhilaration that cannot be replicated. And mastering breath and timing is not about control for its own sake. It is about creating a space where both of you can experience intensity and vulnerability simultaneously, where anticipation and presence coexist, where desire is amplified, and every movement, every sound, every sigh becomes part of a rhythm that she cannot resist, a rhythm that makes her tremble. A rhythm that makes her feel alive, desired, and completely immersed in the moment. Creating a sacred space and emotional safety is the final, most profound step before intimacy. It is the foundation upon which every other element, presence, energy, touch, words, breath, timing, rests, and it begins with your intention, your awareness, your commitment to making her feel protected, cherished, and completely free to be herself. Because emotional safety is not just about avoiding harm. It is about creating an environment where vulnerability is welcomed, where she can let go of defenses, where she can surrender to the moment fully without fear of judgment. And this starts with your energy, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way your body communicates reassurance and care. She senses subtle cues, micro expressions, the steadiness in your voice, the calm in your movements, the warmth in your gaze. And when she feels these, she begins to relax, she begins to trust, she begins to allow herself to be present, to respond, to feel every touch, every whisper, every breath more deeply. And emotional safety is not passive, it is active, it is intentional, it is about showing her through every action that she is fully seen, fully wanted, fully appreciated, that her pleasure, her comfort, her boundaries, and her emotions matter to you as much as your own. It is about respecting her reactions, honoring her responses, and creating a rhythm that matches hers, not forcing her, not rushing her, not trying to manipulate her. And when you create this sacred space, she feels a liberation, a freedom, a trust that allows anticipation to build, desire to flourish, and connection to deepen in ways that cannot be faked or hurried. Because emotional safety turns vulnerability into power, it transforms tension into intimacy. It makes her feel alive in ways she may have never experienced. It allows her to tremble, not just from desire, but from the overwhelming sense that she is completely accepted, completely held, completely understood. And creating this space requires mindfulness, observation, and empathy. It requires noticing her cues, responding to her needs, listening to her subtle signals, adjusting your energy, your touch, your words, your timing to meet her where she is. And when she feels that you are fully attuned, fully committed to honoring her. She lets her guard down, she opens her heart, she lets her body respond fully, freely, passionately, because emotional safety is the invisible yet palpable force that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It turns intimacy into a sacred exchange, it amplifies anticipation, it heightens sensitivity, it makes every touch, every word, every shared breath feel more intense, more meaningful, more electric. And when she senses this, she will tremble not out of fear, not out of uncertainty, but out of the sheer intensity of feeling fully seen, fully desired, fully safe, fully connected. It is the ultimate act of respect and devotion to create a space where she can exist fully, where her emotions are validated, where her pleasure is celebrated, where she can be fully herself. And it starts with your energy, your awareness, your intention, because she feels everything, she senses everything, and when she trusts you to hold that space, the anticipation, the desire, the connection, the trembling, all become more powerful, more profound, more unforgettable. And this sacred space is not just a backdrop, it is an active participant in the moment. It carries weight, it shapes the experience, it makes her feel alive, desired, cherished. And when she senses that her emotional safety is prioritized above all else, it frees her to respond fully, to immerse herself in every touch, every whisper, every glance, every shared breath. It makes her feel present, alive, and profoundly connected. It transforms intimacy into something rare, sacred, and electric. And when you combine all the elements, presence, energy alignment, mindful touch, verbal intimacy, breath control, timing, within a space of emotional safety, the result is a connection so deep, so intense, so resonant, that she trembles in ways that linger long after. It is the culmination of intention, care, and devotion. It is the ultimate act of love and presence.